Good morning. Thank you for meeting me this morning so that we can talk about how we're going to work on equity in your classroom. Why is equity important to you in your classroom?
Because I think it's important that every child feels that they are recognized by their teachers and that they are appreciated to help increase the learning.
Awesome. And you feel that that's a struggle for you?
I feel that I gravitate towards the chatty, outgoing children, and I often don't talk to the ones who are quiet or often on task because I just don't gravitate to them.
Got it. What goals do you have for your first attempt at promoting equity in your classroom?
I would like to make a more conscious effort of speaking to those kids who are often quiet and reserved and not gravitating to the kids who always get my attention, whether it be for negative or positive reasons, but recognizing the kid who just sits quietly, who probably needs some teacher recognition and teacher interaction.
Okay. And what do you think the effects of this in your classroom will be?
I think helping students feel more connected to me, to my class, which will then hopefully promote more learning for them and making them feel like they're important too.
So it sounds like you really are working towards sort of a climate of inclusion, and you just want it to feel like everybody has a place in your class.
Yes.
Perfect. Tell me about sort of what you think success will look like.
Having open and engaging relationships with all students, having all students feel comfortable talking to me about things. Well, I feel like I promote that. Some parents have emailed me and said so-and-so is really quiet and he's not comfortable coming to talk to you, and I want to make sure that every kid, regardless of their outgoingness, feels like I'm one of the teachers that they can come and talk to me if they're missing an assignment or if I entered something wrong or if they need a little extra help.
Okay, and how do you think we should track this?
Maybe by just pinging how many times I talk to the quiet kids and how many times I engage with them before I start trying, and then how does it change when I'm more conscious of my efforts.
Okay, we can do that. And what obstacles do you think that you might hit?
Remembering to do it.
Okay.
Not getting caught up in the moment or the engaging conversations with the other kids, and just remembering to make that conscious effort to talk to the quiet ones.
Okay, so we might need to work on a strategy for that reminder, but we'll obviously look at the data after the observation and sort of see where we are. So it looks like we're going to measure success. Well, let me ask, is there going to be a student component to this to find how they feel about the equity in your classroom?
I don't know, we could take a survey?
Okay, so you want to do a survey and
Maybe.
sort of see where they are.
Sure.
Do you want to do that multiple times during the lesson, maybe before and after, or what do you think? How will it work best in your lesson?
Maybe you could just talk to a few students at the beginning of class before you observe me, maybe some of the more quiet ones, and see where they stand, and then in a couple weeks when you come back to re-observe me, talk to them again to see if it's changed. I don't know.
Okay. So I just kind of want to summarize what we've talked about. You are concerned about the equity in your classroom, and we're going to observe one of your lessons and sort of maybe do a check mark of the interactions with different students so that you can see, is it really an issue? How pervasive is the issue? And we can sort of develop a plan for how to address it. Maybe integrate some sort of a survey before and after to see how they feel. Do they feel it's a problem? And do you feel that knowing their position on it is important to how you change your practice?
I think so. I think if they all felt it was an issue, I would be more inclined to change it. I think maybe I think it's more of an issue than they think it's an issue, so maybe it's not as bad as I think. So it would be interesting to see what their perceptions are. I think students' opinions are important, so it's important to include them in the process.
Mrs. Colano,
Okay.
please call the front office. Diana Colano, please call the front office.
life at school. So, I'm going to, I don't want to call it an observation, I'm just going to spend some time in your classroom, do that checklist, and we will meet again and sort of circle back and see how you would like to use the data to inform your practice, and we'll decide the next steps after I come in and spend a little time in your classroom. Is that okay?
Yep.
All right, thank you so much, I appreciate your time.